What is up, everybody? It is Amazon. Check. All right. I think we have audio back. Can you guys give me a thumbs up if there's audio in the chat? Sorry about that. Yes, I think I did press the button on the mic. Check 1, check 2. Let me know if the audio's back. Check 1, check 2. I hear it on my end. There we go. Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it. Slight delay on the chat. All right, guys, we are back in business because this is just the reality of doing live streams. And I'm somebody who has, done a few live streams, but I'm still fairly new at it. I don't do it all the time. Thank you guys for giving me the thumbs up there. Appreciate you. You guys are awesome. So, rewind back to what I was saying. It's Amazon Prime Day, and I'm super excited to dive into some of the best listings on the market. I've been researching and diving into everything this morning, just trying to check out like what's available, and so I could recommend to you guys some of the best gear for content creators. All right. So without further ado, since we're past some of the technical difficulties and all of that good stuff, let's dive into the stream. It is Prime Day, and give me a thumbs up if you've already bought some stuff for Prime Day. But, let's go ahead and dive in. First, I'm going to be breaking this stream down into different categories that I think are going to be helpful for creators. And, of course, we are going to start with cameras. All right, we're going to start with cameras. And first up on the list, we've been going through a lot of different supply chain shortages and camera chips and all of this stuff. So there aren't a ton of cameras even available in general, but I have found a few deals on some good ones. So if you are interested in purchasing a camera, you may want to act fast because supplies have been short and cameras have been in demand. All right. So talking about cameras, the first one that I have found is the ZV-1, which is one of my favorite go-to camera recommendations for creators. As you guys can see, the list price for this one right here is typically $748, so it's about $100 off for $648. All right, so I've got the ZV-1 right here. And personally, I'm a big fan of this camera. It's very small. I do have it built out with a cage right now, so it's a little bit bigger than it would be, and I've got a little wide angle adapter, which I'll talk about later as well. But this camera is awesome. It's 4K, can fit in your pocket if you want it to. It's got, full flip out screen, which is great. Point and shoot camera, so it's a fixed lens, but the lens is really what makes this thing special because it has a 1.8 aperture. So that's really, really good for getting some nice depth, some nice, a little bit better in low light than some of the competition. And for the price, it's just a great all-in-one small solution. I would highly recommend this if you're somebody who's sort of like starting out and you're sort of graduating from the, smartphone and you want to go into the realm of a camera. This is a great option. Not the best battery life, but there's some ways around that. All in all, though, it's a really good starter. So, yeah. All right. We got Jeff saying he ended up buying the ZV-E10 from my recommendations a few months ago and love it. Yes, this is the ZV-1, but the ZV-E10 is awesome. Unfortunately, I didn't find that one. I was looking for it. But one thing I want to mention before we start diving too far into this is that I've actually placed some links down in the description. I set up an Amazon storefront for Prime Day with all of my gear recommendations there. So if you're kind of tired of watching the stream or you don't want to go all the way through it, you can also go check out the link there and dive through. But I will be highlighting and featuring and actually holding and showing and demoing a lot of these products, because I love to recommend gear that I actually use and that I recommend and that I've owned, because I've tested it and it's tried and true. So pretty much all of the gear on this stream and in that list is stuff that I've owned or used and would recommend. So, all right, let's go back into the gear. Moving on from the first camera, we've got one of my absolute favorite cameras, which is the Sony a7 III. It's such a great camera. So this was my go-to camera for a while on my channel. So this is the a7 III. It is a little bit more expensive. It's honestly, it's just really good hybrid camera. So it's great for photo and it's great for video. The unfortunate thing for YouTube is it only has a tilt screen, not a full flip, and it does have a 30-minute record limit. So you can get around this stuff, and the image quality is fantastic. But if you're somebody who's creating video or photos for clients, this is fantastic. For YouTube, honestly, you may even like the ZV-1 better. And I'm using the more video-friendly version of this for the stream right now, which is the A7C. I did not see that on sale, but it's still a great option. So if you're looking for a camera, the Sony a7C is great, but I did see the a7 III, which is the same sensor and specs, just a different body form factor. And it is, on sale, as we can see over here. It's saving you quite a bit of money right there, a couple $100. So awesome stuff. All right, let's move on from cameras, moving in right along to lenses. Because how many of you guys know that lenses are super important, right? I'll turn this music down just a little bit. Lenses are super important because it's going to completely change the overall look of your video. Now, if you have something like the ZV-1, you can't quite change the lens, but there's some cool stuff you can do to it. So let's talk about lenses. The Viltrox 24 1.8. This lens is actually pretty awesome. And as you guys can see, there's a little coupon that you can add for 10% because of Prime Day right now. But this is a $379 lens. And the reality is it's actually pretty sweet. So what I'm using for the stream right now on this camera is a 20mm 1.8. And I paid about $1,000 for that lens. This is a 24mm, so just a little bit zoomed in, 1.8 for $379 plus 10% off. So it's a pretty good deal. I mean, I've used this. The autofocus is great. The background rendering is nice. It's 24mm. That's a very nice focal length for YouTube talking head videos. So I would highly recommend this 24mm lens 1.8 from Viltrox. It's a great lens, and you can save a little bit on it today. Moving right along, we've got the wide angle lens for the Sony ZV-1. This is legit. All right. Oh, we got a question right here from I'm Casey. What lens is that? The one we just covered was the Viltrox 24, and now we're talking about the wide angle lens for the ZV-1, which I actually have on the ZV-1 right now. All right. So this is the little adapter. I'm going to unscrew it for you guys. So I've got the little adapter piece on the camera. This is basically going to make the ZV-1 wider. Personally, I think the ZV-1 is great for a lot of things. It's built as a vlogging camera, and unfortunately, I feel like it's just a little too tight for most vlogging situations. So this wide angle adapter really fixes that and makes it nice and awesome. All right. So moving back to this, it's, you can save 20% on it right now. Prime Day deals, cool stuff, about $10. Hey, that's a good deal right there. So if you've got the ZV-1 and you're looking to make it wider, maybe you didn't know this existed. It does. It's great. I love it. And it's on sale. Moving along, we've got the Sony 55mm 1.8 lens, which I have. I don't know where I put it though. That's all right. So it's a great lens. As you guys can see, it's on sale. I love this lens because it really is like the, just a really good artistic length. It's 50 millimeters is basically what it is, and that's sort of like what people refer to as like standard, as far as the way it treats like distortion and such. So it's really great. It gives you a lot of depthy background, and it's great for B-roll. I love this lens, and it's just a good deal right now, so I wanted to throw it on there. I've been using it for years, and it is fantastic. And then we got this one, the Sony 24-70 2.8. This lens really is, it's just a great, it's just a really good deal on it right now. Save about $289. That's pretty awesome. This is not going to be a lens for, I don't know, like everyone, but it's a great 24-70 is just such a nice focal length if you're going to be using like one lens, because it really covers a nice range, and it's 2.8, which lets in a ton of light. It's obviously more expensive than the others, but it is a professional lens, and it's on sale right now. So just wanted to mention this one because I thought it was a good deal on it. All right, now we're getting into the realm of audio. All right, the realm of audio. And I think that audio really is one of the best ways that you can instantly improve the overall quality of your content, because one of the things that I think when we start out, we tend to think about video and sort of like what that can do and how that looks and everything. And while video is important, I think that audio really is equally as important. It's half of video. And so the best way to level up your overall quality is to invest in your audio, because it's instantly going to get that 50% better. So all of that to say, let's talk about some of the best deals for audio on Prime Day this year. All right, here we go. So first things first, we've got the Shure MV7, which, as you may have guessed it, is the microphone that I'm using right now. I absolutely love this microphone because it is super functional. So it's actually doing quite a bit even on this stream right now. I've got it ran through USB, and then there's actually a software program that I'm able to adjust some of the EQ and levels. And then I'm also running headphones from this microphone so I can kind of listen to what's going on. This is new for me. I haven't really done this much, but I have little earbuds in right now, some little in-ear monitors, just, you know, seeing what that's like, trying it out. I can see levels, or I can adjust levels. It's touchscreen controls, and it's also XLR. So you can do either USB or XLR, which makes this super versatile. And it's just a great price for what it is. This is sort of like the smaller, like baby brother of the popular Shure SM7B, which is a very standard microphone, but that's also quite expensive when you buy all the things you need to make it sound good. It's usually like $600. So diving into this, right now it's on sale for $219. You get, you know, USB connection, XLR, headphone monitoring. It's just so versatile. It's honestly a great microphone for voiceovers, for podcasts, for live streams, for talking head if you want to have microphone in the shot. It's a really good option. So I wanted to mention this one. It's my favorite microphone right now. All right. And now we've got the Deity D4 Duo. All right, I love this little shotgun mic. If you are in the market for a shotgun mic, this one really is super, super clutch. So the really cool thing about this guy, and I'll actually go ahead and take the little windscreens off of this, but the really cool thing, the unique thing about this microphone is that it actually has two microphones on it. So this will connect to your camera, and you can use the front mic like your traditional shotgun style mic. But if you're doing vlogs and you're wanting to, you know, have somebody talk and also talk to them, rather than turning the camera back and forth, you could also just flip this little switch, and now both microphones will be active, and it will actually record into the left and right channels of your video. And then in the edit, you can actually isolate both of them. So you get two audio tracks for one microphone. So I think that's just a really unique, innovative design. I absolutely love it. And this guy is on sale right now for $51, which is fantastic. And again, I just want to mention that, you know, any of the gear that I'm highlighting in this stream, I've placed a link in the description below to an Amazon storefront. It's got all that stuff for you guys to save you time hunting it all down. So moving on. The Zoom H6. This is, man, this is probably my most used piece of audio gear ever. It is so awesome. And I'm going to talk to you guys about what this is. So it's about 6% off right now, which is pretty sweet. So, all right. This is the Zoom H6. I kind of call this like the DSLR of audio, or kind of like the interchangeable lens of camera system of audio. But the reason I say that is because you can, just how you can change lenses on a camera, you can also put different attachments to the top of this guy to do different things, which is awesome. So this is like a little shotgun style mic, and this is actually what I use to record my talking head YouTube videos when I'm not streaming or doing podcasts or such. If I'm just doing my regular talking head, I usually use this just off camera, which is really awesome. And there's different sorts of attachments that you can put on here, but beyond just being a shotgun style mic, the magic of this thing is that you can plug in XLR or 1/4 inch plugs into it. And you can do up to 4 channels just built in here. You can even do attachments to add 2 more. So you could have 6 different channels of, you know, multiple people doing a podcast, or if you're recording instruments for something live, or if you were at an event and you needed multiple inputs into an audio source and capturing it all in one place. You can do that with this. And the other cool thing about this is it can turn into an audio interface. So this can actually plug into your computer, which will allow you to then plug in microphones or instruments or whatever you need. And you can run it in as separate tracks and channels through this interface into, you know, whatever DAW that you're using, if you're using Logic or Pro Tools or whatever. So it's a really slick little device. I think it's fantastic. I love it for portability. The reason I originally got this was shooting live events like weddings. You know, I think that was one of the original reasons that I got this, just to be able to run into, you know, run into the board, run into from a speaker. There's a lot of uses for this. So if you're getting serious about stuff, I think that's a really good way to, I'll just banning some stuff in the chat real quick. Really good way to, you know, capture audio. So all that being said, let's go back to the deals page here. Yeah, so you can save a little bit on that. And I gotta say, I think when I originally bought this back in the day, it was $400. I'm pretty sure. So all in all, I think this is a really great deal if you're interested in, you know, leveling up your audio. All right, cool. So moving on to the next thing. All right, we were talking about lighting. And so real quick, before we get into that, let me just kind of deal with the comments here. All right. Oh, you gotta love the spam on YouTube right now. I feel like it's everywhere, man. That stuff is fun. Sorry you guys have to deal with that. My wife, Michaela, should be able to get rid of that. I don't know if I can get rid of it from here. Anyways, enough of that. Talking about the gear. Let me know in the comments, guys, what you are looking for this year. What type of gear are you looking to upgrade? Are you looking to upgrade camera, lighting, audio, editing? You know, what is it that you're looking for? Because we've got a lot of different things to talk about today. So moving right along, let's talk about lighting. And if you guys have been a part of this channel for any length of time, you know I love talking about lighting. You know that I am, you know, a big fan of lighting. I think that it can completely change the entire look of your video. It can add a ton of quality to your video. And, you know, I think that it's one of the more affordable ways to get a better look for your video rather than investing in a camera or rather than investing in, you know, a high quality lens. If you invest in lighting, you can even make your smartphone look super professional. So let's talk about lighting today, because I think it's going to be really helpful for, you know, a lot of you guys out there. So here we are talking about lights. And the first thing that I want to mention before we get into the gear, I'm going to do a little bit of a shameless plug, but I want to talk to you about my brand new course, Learn Video Lighting. All right. So I have just recently launched a lighting course. A lot of you guys have been asking for this for years, and I finally launched it, and you can buy it today at learnvideolighting.com. And I'm going to tell you guys just briefly about it, and then we'll get into the gear, all right? So it's 90 minutes of content. It's a pretty short, power-packed course. I've taken years of experience and condensed it into the very best that I could of a 90-minute course, just to give you a complete knowledge of lighting, all right? It's 10 lesson modules broken up over the course of 90 minutes. It talks about, terms and definitions, gear and accessories, the basics. It gets into more advanced things like emotion and color science and all sorts of things. So all of that to say, that is there. It's included different charts and diagrams and PDF resources in this course. We're showing real world applications like green screens and all sorts of stuff. So welcome to the next level. It's Learn Video Lighting. And if you guys want, you can use code PRIMELVL to save 50% on this course. I put a lot of time, a lot of energy into this thing, and I wanted to share it with you guys, all with the stance and the intention to help you guys level up and stand out online. So I wanted to talk to you guys about this course briefly. We are running a Prime Day sale. Prime LVL is the code. You can get it for 50% off. Links in the description. Now let's dive into the gear, because that's what you're here for. All right, we've got the Aputure ALMC. And I love this thing, and I've actually got it right here. And right now, you can save a pretty penny on that from 90 to 79, which is pretty slick. So this is the Aputure ALMC. It's a really nice little travel light. It's got a little diffuser on it that comes with it right now. The cool thing about this is that it's dimmable. So I can go ahead and kind of dim it down. Gets pretty bright for the size, which is one of the reasons why I like it. It's also color temperature adjustable. So I can kind of like match the warmth in the background there if I want, which is pretty cool. And then it's also full RGB, which is fantastic. So you can go through the full hue here. Pretty great. And beyond that, it is also has built-in effects. So you can do a bunch of different cool things like that. And it's magnetic, so it's just super useful. It's great to throw in your backpack, throw in your bag, just to bring with you if you're traveling on the go and need to throw some light into a scene, all right? So really cool little light, Aputure ALMC. It's on sale right now. Moving along, we've got the GVM 50RS LED panel. That is such a mouthful. It's so funny to me that a lot of these brands like GVM and, I don't know, just a lot of them have such weird product names, but hey, it is what it is. So let me pull this guy in real quick. It's kind of a bigger guy, so. All right, so this is the GVM 50RS, yeah. I think that's the name of it. Let me double check, 50RS. Yeah. So this thing's pretty slick. It's got built-in barn doors, which is really nice. And I'll go ahead and pop this guy on. It's actually, you can be hard plugged or battery powered, which is great. This is at 10% brightness right now. So as you guys can see, it can get really bright because that's only at 10%. So the cool thing about this is it's dimmable, color temperature adjustable, and you can do full RGB and effects. So you can go ahead and get some color here. Pretty awesome. Do effects. And we'll just do it like this for now because that's a fun and exciting party. So I love that this thing's battery powered. I love that it's got the cool effects, all of the color. It's crazy bright. For the size. I love the barn doors. It's easy to attach to a traditional light stand, which is fantastic. And it's smartphone controlled, so you can connect this to an app, and you can actually pair multiple of these and control one, and the others will follow or mimic it. So that's pretty cool. Really great light. I love this thing for creative work, for creative product shoots, for music videos, for thumbnails. It's great to light up the background in different colors. Really cool little light. Well, not little, really cool, bigger light. And again, let's pull that up real quick. So you're saving a good chunk of change on this right now. It's super fantastic. So $130 Prime Day deal. Let's move on. All right, talking about one of my favorite key lights, the GVM 100W. Okay, this light is fantastic and looks like a 20% off right now. Really good deal. I'm not gonna like demo this light because I'd have to plug it in and I just don't want to move around too much. It's really big when you put the softbox on it, but this is the light. So the really cool thing about these point source, like spotlight style lights, is they're actually pretty small. So like, as you guys can see, it's really not that big, but you can rig it out. So you can put, you know, different attachments to the front of this, like softbox lanterns as shown in the picture, cones, snoots, whatever you want. And it's dimmable. It is color temperature adjustable. It's not battery powered. It is hard plugged, but it doesn't have to have a brick. So that's really nice. It just is a single cable plug. Super bright, really nice light. Love the quality of it. Big fan. So I wanted to mention that one because it's a great key light option. And also just fantastic for lighting up a whole room. It's fantastic for lighting up multiple people if you're doing a podcast. It's a really good option. So it's on sale right now. All right, moving along. This is a RGB GVM light. I actually don't own this, but I saw it was on sale, so I wanted to tell you guys about it. I have not used it, but it looks really cool, so I just wanted to mention it. 30% off, $350 instead of $500. Seems like it'd be pretty similar to the GVM 100W, but also adding in effects in RGB. So I don't think it would be, it may not have as good of quality of light, but maybe it would. So we will, recommend that one. And looks like we got a question coming in real quick. So ZM says, just want to ask you a question, how to connect DSLR to PC. I will mention that a little bit later. We're going to go into a Q&A at the end. All right. So if you guys have questions, be thinking about them. We'll dive into a little Q&A at the end. For now, let's keep going on through the gear. Newer LED bicolor round light. So this is sort of like a flapjack style edge light. These things are awesome if you're struggling with space. So if you're in a small room or you're somebody who shoots on the go a lot, this is a fantastic light. So big fan of this one. It's remote controlled. It's on sale for $166. That is awesome. Normally it says list price is $209. Normally I think it's actually more like $220. So this is pretty good savings on this light right now. You may have seen this style of light in my lighting for YouTube video. I absolutely love them. It creates a great catch light in the eye. And they're just really good. The reason that these are cool is because the light actually shoots out from the side, and it creates a softer look. All right. So it may look like it would be harsher, but it's actually decently soft. It's not quite as good as like a lantern or a big softbox, of course, but it does a pretty good job. And it's bicolor, it's remote controlled, easy to bring around, really good if you're short on space. All right. And now we've got the a 5-in-1 reflector. I think I really think everybody should have a 5-in-1 reflector. They're so useful. If you're, shooting near a window and you need to soften the light, you can use the inside piece. If you're in a difficult shooting situation and you want to bounce the light, you can easily do it. If you want to create, some cool, some cool dynamic shadows, you can use the black side of it. So it's just so versatile of a tool. And I really do think that it is a fantastic option. It's on sale right now, so I wanted to include it. All right, talking about the Godox TL30. I absolutely love this light. So we'll go ahead and I have this one with me right here. I've got like 4 of these because they're so awesome. So this is the Godox TL30. It's like a small version of what's behind me. So the cool thing about this, I'll go ahead and turn it on, is you can do a lot of cool things with it. So it gets really bright, as you can see. And then the other cool thing is you can actually adjust the color temperature, which is fantastic. You can dim it as well, which is super important. So I'll go ahead and kind of dim it down a little bit. And then beyond that, it's also full RGB, which is awesome. So you can kind of scroll through the cycle. of the different hues, and it has built-in effects. So this is a really versatile, nice little small tube light. And I'm such a big fan of tube lights. I think that they are fantastic for creators because you can just do a lot of cool things and put them in unique places, and they can just add a lot of cool elements to your scene. But one of the reasons I love recommending these is for backlight or hair light. So being able to kind of mount this up on a traditional light stand or with a ball head and kind of like tilt it to the side, and then boom, you've got some hair light. It works really well for that, as well as just being, if you want to in your scene, sort of like what I've got going on now. And I think that that is a fantastic way to do it. Again, you know, it's also magnetic, so that's one of the reasons why this is so cool. And you can control this with your smartphone as well. So for the price, which I don't know what's the sale right now, 20% off, $70. You get this smartphone controlled magnetic RGB effect built in, crazy little light. I mean, that's just such a good deal. Like $71 for it is insane. So, and it even, you can get different accessories with this, like waterproof bags if you want to take it underwater and do all sorts of crazy things. Oh, and if you have multiple of these, you can actually thread them together to make it a bigger tube. So really, really cool. Let's move on to its bigger brother, the TL60. All right, the TL60. So let me go ahead and pull that one in frame. So this is the same thing. It's just bigger. All right, this one's not magnetic though, but all of the other things, and it doesn't have thread mounts. That's to me one of the downsides of the light. But other than that, it has clamps that you can use with it. And so this is a little bit bigger version, the 2-foot version of the light. Really, really cool. I'll go ahead and pop it on. So same sort of idea. You can do the color temperature adjustable stuff, you know, kind of change that, or you could do, you know, full RGB, or you can have built-in effects, and it's just bigger and brighter. All right. Really nice option. Big fan of it. I use it all the time. And then I've got the even bigger version of these guys, the biggest brother, the TL120, and this is on sale right now. And I believe these are actually the true list price is $300. So, anyways, it's a good deal for $240. I'm a big fan of these guys. I've actually got them on in the background right now. The cool thing with these and the TL60 is that they're remote controlled. So I can turn them on and off. I can, you know, change the color if I want. I can do, you know, RGB looks if I want. I could go full effect mode if I want. So there's a ton of cool things. Again, this is a good example of like how you could set them up into a live stream or, you know, a talking head shot or a podcast. You can do lots of fun stuff with them. Overall, I'm a big fan. Yeah, so those are awesome. All right, moving on. Ulanzi VL49, and I believe I just saw a question a little bit ago from Zooms. Is there any LED lights for streaming under $50? Yes, there is. I've made some videos on that, so go check the channel if you're curious. But again, I'm only highlighting Prime Day deals right now, which is why I'm not including some of the lights that I normally would. But this is the Ulanzi VL49 on sale for $23. That's insane because this guy is awesome. It's small, yes, but it is pretty bright. And all in all, it is really good. So as you guys can see, I've turned it on, and I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how it can be color temperature adjusted, which is fantastic. So I'm kind of holding down the button right now, and you'll see it start to change. Pretty cool. It is also RGB, so you can cycle through all of the colors, and it has built-in effects. So pretty sweet. You can do a lot of cool stuff with this little light. One of the things that I personally love about this light though is it has a hot shoe mount. So you can actually mount this to, you know, the top of a camera like the ZV-1 if you wanted to. It can just go right on top. But then you don't lose the camera's hot shoe mount because you actually get 3 more back, because this has 3 hot shoe adapters on the light itself. So you could go ahead and do some crazy stuff if you wanted to. You could, like, you know, mount a microphone to the top of the light and then mount this to the top of the camera. You could mount other stuff to it. It's also magnetic. So it's like so many great things that you can do with this little light, and it's a great deal. 23 bucks, you could buy 2 of them, and get a cool little shot going on. Yeah, huge fan of this light. Ulanzi just has been crushing it for budget gear for content creators. That's not crap. It's so good. So, really big fan of that guy. Moving along. Viltrox L116T key light. So this is an oldie but a goodie. It doesn't have all the flash of some of the other lights, but I will recommend it anyways because it's a pretty good deal, 37 bucks. So this is it. The cool thing about this is it's battery powered, so you can use Sony NPF batteries. It's got a thread mount on the bottom. You can turn it on and it's just like nice and bright, and it's dimmable, but it's also color temperature adjustable. I'll kind of show you the back of the screen there so you can see what's going on. Really, really nice. I think it's 56 to 33. Yep. And then you can dim it down or whatever. So a little bit harsher, but for the price, it's great if you need to have a portable little light. And you can always pair this with something like the 5-in-1 reflector to get some nice diffused looks or bounce it off of something. So it's a nice little handy little light. It was on sale, so I wanted to mention it. Moving along. All right, so we're moving out of lighting and into mounting. Mounting is super, super important because, if you've been shooting for any length of time, you'll realize that you can't always just hold your camera. Sometimes it's important to put it on tripod or, put it on a gimbal or put it on a slider or put it on, a selfie stick or whatever. And so we're going to talk about some of that today. So moving along, we've got the Ulanzi again coming in clutch. This is not sponsored in any way, shape, or form by Ulanzi, by the way. I just have really been enjoying their products. Ulanzi, if you want to sponsor me, that's fine. I will love to talk to you. But all of that to say, these things are a game changer for me. So what those are is, I don't know if I have a good way to show it to you right now. But that's okay. So the bottom of this ZV-1, I have this little plate, all right? And what this allows me to do is put all of these little quick release adapters on all of my tripods, on all of my, my gimbal, my slider, my selfie sticks, different stands. Like they all have the same universal quick release plate adapter, which is this product. And because I have this on the bottom of my camera, I can just quickly switch between all of them without ever having to fiddle with screwing and unscrewing and all of that stuff. So that is why these things are so, so cool. So it's on sale for 23 bucks. I believe I think it was Black Friday, like a year ago or 2 years ago, I forget. I purchased 15 of these or something crazy because I just needed, I was switching my quick release system. The thing I love about these is they're so small. The quick release system I used before were 50 bucks a piece, so even more expensive, and they were big like Manfrotto plates. They work really well, but they're just big and cumbersome, and with everything moving smaller with mirrorless, they were just a bit overkill. So really big fan of the Ulanzi system, and I'll show it to you in action in just a second. But moving on. All right. We've got the MT16. I didn't bring that on my desk, but anyways, this is a really cool selfie stick. I'll let you guys just check it out. I feature it in some of my videos as well. Accessories for the ZV-1 or the ZV-E10. I'll talk about this. So the really good selfie stick, tripod, tabletop tripod, ball head on the top, super nice. Really, really good. So, all right. Moving along to this tripod. This is my most recent purchase because I wanted to have a tripod for also shooting short form content that's vertical. So this tripod is fantastic. You can see it's nice and small. It gets really tall. But the reason this is awesome, and I'll show you some stuff in a second, but the reason this is awesome is because if I have the tripod set up, I can flip my camera or my phone vertical. And this is why this is so great. So it's nice and stable. It's really easy to use for switching back and forth between, shooting wide or shooting vertical. It's really nice build quality. It's got nice foam grips. When you extend it out, you can lock the middle piece, which I find very useful. It even has a little handle here, which is odd. I don't know why that's there. I don't think I would ever really use it with the handle, but it's cool to have. It's decently smooth. It really is pretty smooth. Like, you could definitely get away with pan and tilt shots with this tripod. So that's an added bonus for sure. All right, so I was going to show you guys this. So this is one of those plates I was talking about. This is like, I put the plate on the plate. So the tripod itself comes with a plate, so you don't need to have this to do this. But the reason why you can use this plate is you can put it on all your stuff and never have to change anything out. So then I can just take this guy and it pops in, and then I can lock it, and it's on here, so fast and easy to put on the tripod. And then I can simply take it off. Simple as that. And all of my stuff has the same thing. So that's why the Ulanzi plates are so great. So if you're in the market for a tripod for shooting short form vertical mixed with widescreen, this one is great. And again, it's on sale right now. I am a little unfortunately angry about that. I just spent, the 37 probably a week ago. I should have waited. I'm impatient. But hey, 29 bucks today, man. That's what's up. All right, moving along. We're getting into tech, and we're starting to near the end. So we're getting into some tech stuff right now. Let's dive in. First things first, we got an Apple MacBook Pro with an M1 chip. And you're going to save yourself about 200 bucks right now on this guy. 1 terabyte, 16 core. I mean, this thing would be killer. So yeah, really good computer. Not going to talk too much about it. You guys can, if you're into it, you're into it. But hey, save a little bit of money on Prime Day. That's what's up. All right, moving along. The Elgato Stream Deck. Love this thing. I've been using it during the stream today. Right now it is $50 off, so you can get it for $99. Of course, I messed up the stand, but that's fine. So this is the little guy right here. I've got the Stream Deck going on. So I've got all my different scenes. So as I push a button, you guys can see it kind of changes. I can go back into my presentation all by just pushing these buttons, which is really, really sweet. If I go into the presentation, I can like do things like show and hide myself all from this, this thing. So pretty great if you're getting into streaming. It's really useful. So, all right, moving along. Portable monitor. All right, so I actually have this monitor set up to my computer right now. I really have been liking this monitor. So this is USB-C, and the cool thing about this is you can connect it with just using one simple plug. So I can plug it from my laptop or computer, even an iPad or a phone, and you can use one cable and it will go into the monitor. It's USB-C and it will power it. It will turn it on, and you get an extra display. It's nice and bright. It's very, from my testing, it's pretty darn color accurate. It's not like the most color accurate in the world by any means, but it's good enough. So it's pretty sweet. Big fan of that. Moving along. SD cards. This is such an overlooked, needed tool that we all need to have is an SD card, all right? You buy the new camera, you buy all of the great stuff. It's 4K, it's great, it's fantastic. And then you try to throw an old SD card in it and it doesn't work because it's not fast enough, all right? So for anything shooting with 4K, you're pretty much gonna need Class 10 U3, which is this card. This is a 128 gig version because I like having more space on my card personally. So this is what that looks like. I've labeled mine, as you can see, ZV1 because this is what goes inside the ZV1 on the regular. And that's just how that functions and works. So yeah, SD cards, they're needed. Make sure you don't skip out on the SD card because then you won't be able to utilize the full functionality of your camera potentially, depending on what it can do. So yeah, for the ZV1, the ZV-E10, the A7 III, the A7C, that style of card that we've linked in the store is fantastic, and it is on sale today. All right, cool stuff. All right, so now we're going to talk about today's sponsor, which is Soundstripe. And if you guys have been around the channel, you'll know Soundstripe is where I get all of my music for YouTube videos and client projects. And if you guys can hear that music in the background, I'll turn it up just a little bit. This is from Soundstripe. So I've just had a Soundstripe playlist going on stream today that I put together. And if you guys are interested in checking out their music, I actually have a playlist on their website, which is pretty fun. So you can go check out some of my favorite tracks. If you're like, oh, I like what Ben uses. What does he use? Well, I've got a playlist and you can go check it out. They have great filter tools, which makes it so easy to find the song. They say on average on their site, people spend less than 5 minutes finding a track for their song because their filter tools are just that good. So that's a huge deal to me, is being able to quickly find something that I'm looking for or that I have a vision for. So yeah, their filter tools are great. And this is their pricing. So you guys can see for the creator plan, which is what I think what I'd recommend for a lot of you is the creator plan, $9 a month. That's pretty awesome. $10 a month, 120 billed yearly. So, I mean, you guys got to understand, I used to spend like over $4,000 a year on music. So being able to get unlimited music where I can download the songs in WAV files, and I can also download the stems, which means if I want to access a particular song with just their drums or their synth or just their guitar or whatever, I can do that. They have different already pre-cut versions like 30-second and 60-second, all that type of stuff for different things you may need. Yeah, it's such a good deal. So if you guys are interested, you can use code CREATIVE20 to save 20% off at checkout, bringing that price down even a little bit more. All right. And now it's time to do some Q&A. So we've kind of cycled through a ton of gear. I've showed you guys a bunch of good stuff. Again, just a reminder, you can find links to all of that in the description below. We've covered a lot. We've covered cameras and lenses and audio and mounting options and tech. And again, this is not everything that's on Amazon. These are just the things that I have personally used and that I recommend, because I never want to talk about gear and such that I haven't tested or haven't used, or just don't know about or know the brand or anything like that. So all of this stuff, as you see, I have it here in the studio. A lot of this I've had for years. So you guys can check that out at the link in the description on your search for finding the right gear for you. But let's do some Q&A, all right? Let's do some Q&A. If you guys have questions, bring them on in. We'll do that for a few minutes, and we can talk about this stuff. So we got our first question in from Zane. How can I start YouTube in a low price? Well, Zane, my biggest advice, and this goes, this is counterproductive on Prime Day, but this is the biggest advice: is you really don't need all of the fancy bells and whistles. Start with what you have. If you have a phone, start with that. Learn how to use that well. If you want to know how to get better looks out of your iPhone or your Android or whatever it is that you're rocking with, check out like my smartphone lighting videos or different things on my channel. I talk about this stuff all the time because I'm a big believer that the best camera is the one that you have on you. So sometimes when you're out and about, all I have is a phone, and it's like, I still know how to make cool stuff with it, and I didn't wait until I had big expensive stuff to start. You've got to start with what you got. So how can you start? Get clear on who you're talking to. Focus, instead of the production quality, focus on the content quality, which would be like the substance of the video. If you're teaching people, focus on the facts. If you're entertaining people, focus on getting better as an entertainer or funnier, or sharpening your skills for whatever your channel is about. And then get better at just learning who your audience is and what your niche is. Kind of figure that out. So how can you start? As far as getting better gear on low prices, you can check out some of these deals today, but I also have other videos going over some, best lights under $100 or, things like that. So go skim the channel, and there's lots of good resources for you and anybody else who's looking to start but is intimidated by the gear. Don't worry too much about that. Just focus on being yourself and starting. All right. All right, Steven, completely unrelated to camera/gears. Where did you get my hat? Great question, Steven. It is actually a friend of mine's company. And let me turn Soundstripe down just a sec. I think I didn't do that. Yeah. So it's actually a friend of mine's company called All In It Brand. All In It Brand, ALLINIT. It's an Atlanta-based clothing brand. They do some awesome stuff. Pretty cool. All right, moving along. Let's see. Any other questions? We got Zooms again coming in with, can you use keybinds on your keyboard if you're on a... Yeah, okay, he's saying yes. So instead of using the Elgato, you could do keybinds. That is something that you can do with certain programs. The reason I don't prefer to do it that way is because a lot of times I'll use my keyboard for other stuff if I need to search something or respond to a comment or do something during the stream, and I don't want it triggering a bunch of different scenes. So one reason why the Stream Deck is useful. Yeah, but you can do that, yes. All right, other questions. All right, we've got Neesmith, best budget-friendly light for shooting YouTube on sale right now. From what I found on sale today, probably this guy. This is great for bringing in some color and some fun RGB stuff. Otherwise, I would recommend, even though I didn't see it on a Prime Day sale, it's just too good of a value to miss, would be the Mount Dog Softbox lighting kit. That's actually the light that I'm using right now. It's remote controlled, powered, so I can change stuff. I can change color temperature and all that. It's a softbox. It's around $50. It's a great deal. So about $50 for a softbox. It comes with the light stand, the remote control, the softbox, all of that stuff for that price point. So that would be my recommendation in general. I didn't see it on sale, so I didn't include it in this video, but I would definitely recommend that one. Great question. All right. Moving along. Okay. John Bradford, this might sound a bit random. What would you recommend as a good pop filter? Pop filter is basically kind of like what I have here. This is a pop filter on the mic. It's to help with plosives, the type sounds. I would recommend, it depends on your microphone. The one that I'm using this is actually not the one that comes with the MV7. So I've actually paid about $10 more to get the pop filter from the Shure SM7B. And that would be what I recommend if it fits. Otherwise, I would look into brands like Rode or even Yeti and I would just try stuff. I don't have a ton of experience with pop filters other than I know I really like this one from the SM7B paired with the MV7. So I'll take that off for a second. Sorry, I'm probably annoying your guys' ears, but my name is Ben. I am testing the plosives. My name's Ben. I'm testing the plosives. So you guys can probably hear a little bit of a difference there. It's a nice little pop filter. All right, for Bruno coming in for a documentary interview, would you go with the GVM or the newer round light? Personally, I would go with GVM 100% because the thing that I think that a lot of us maybe don't realize or know in general when we're starting out is that really what makes the light soft is the size. So the larger and closer the light is, it will make the shadows softer. And so if you want to get nice flattering light, I would recommend the GVM with a big lantern softbox and get it as close as you can to your subject. Now, if you want to go for very dramatic with harsh shadows, then you could easily accomplish that either with just the GVM by taking the softbox off or with the newer. Now, it depends a little bit on the documentary. Like, if I was just filming a bunch of interviews for clients, I might actually opt to go with the newer flapjack style light just because it's easy to bring and you can still get great looks with it. So it's more portable and easy to set up. So you've got to, and if you're solo shooting, having the remote control is huge. So you've got to think through just some of those practical things. But if you're working on a big documentary or something, or you just want to get the best look possible, I'd probably go with the GVM over the newer. All right. We got Michigan Fisherman saying Mount Dog is awesome, low budget, makes my inside videos much better. Absolutely. It's awesome. All right. Russell J, good lav mic ideas. I've got 2 recommendations for you. I didn't see them on sale today, but I'll recommend them anyways. And you can find more of this gear that I'm talking about on my Amazon storefront, not inside the Prime Day sales, but just in some of the other categories. So good lav mic ideas. My favorite lav mic is the Tascam DR10L. It's a little pack that you can put on your person. It's battery powered and takes micro SD cards, so it records the files separately. but the quality is fantastic. The microphone locks in place, so you're not gonna have to worry about it coming unplugged. You do have to sync it later in post, so it's one extra step, but a lot of software these days will auto do that for you. So that's my top recommendation. It's the one I use a lot. Now, if you get into the realm of wireless, then I would recommend the Rode Wireless Go 2 because you can hook multiple packs to one receiver, and they're really small and easy to use. So hopefully that will send you in some research direction. Tascam DR10L and Rode Wireless Go 2. All right. And if you're looking for just the mic itself, Rode SmartLav Plus is fantastic. All right. Looking around. Nee coming in. So I did not see any great major sales on backdrops, but if you're just looking in general, I really love Savage. So Savage is the Savage Seamless backdrop paper is my top recommendation for backdrops because a lot of cheap backdrops are fabricy and wrinkly and they just don't look good. Savage Studio Seamless paper is going to be nice and flat, easy to work with. You can get different sizes. So I would look into Savage. There may be some sales. I recommend gray because you can use RGB lights to change the background to be whatever color you want. It's the most, I guess, moldable, shapeable, sort of color. But you can get whatever color you want pretty much. So Savage photo paper I would look into. Great question. Let's see. Man, I've been thinking about this. Mr. King says, what are my thoughts on the Insta360 as webcam, as action cam? So yeah, this is a great question. I'm actually looking into purchasing an Insta360 because I want to try it out for the 360 functions personally. So I'm going to be looking at that today potentially and tomorrow. So, oh, and by the way, just so you guys know, we will be updating that Prime Day storefront as we see different sales throughout the rest of the day and tomorrow. So be checking back for even things I haven't mentioned on stream as of now because sales can change and different products can come in. So I think it's cool. I don't know how I'd use it as a webcam, honestly, but I think that the camera itself is cool. All right. John Bradford in the market for a boom arm for his microphone. Okay, so I've used the Rode PSA, even just version 1, the Rode PSA, and I love it. So I would recommend that. That just from what I've used. I haven't used a ton of boom arms, but that one is really high quality and works really well. So that's the Rode PSA 1. All right. Going along, just reading some of these comments. Thank you guys for hanging out. This has been fun, and happy shopping on Prime Day. I'll go ahead and acknowledge this one. Matt Lane coming in with how in God's name is this image quality live? Best image seen. Thank you so much. So the reason why this image quality is so good is I'm actually using a streaming software called Ecamm Live, and I'm using a Sony A7C with a 20 millimeter lens running into an Elgato Cam Link going into my computer, and I'm using Ecamm Live. So really, really big fan of Ecamm. He's coming in with any mobile live stream setup besides just a phone. I'll have to get back to you on this. This is something I'm super interested in checking out myself. As far as like what could you do if you were streaming from your phone to level up the quality with different things. So I love that question. I don't have an answer for you right now, but I'm going to explore it. So thank you for asking it. All right, guys. Well, this has been fun. We've been streaming for just about an hour now. I think that we're going to go ahead and kind of close it out. Couple quick conclusion reminders. All of this gear that we mentioned throughout the stream is linked down in the description below on my Amazon storefront, and I'll be changing it throughout as we see deals come and go and all of that good stuff. Also, just wanted to remind you guys, My brand new course is available now and on sale with code PRIMELVL. You can go to learnvideolighting.com and use code PRIMELVL to get the course for 50% off. This course has been just something that, you know, my wife and I have been working on for months to get ready for you guys. It's all of our experience with lighting wrapped up into about 90 minutes. So definitely go check that out if you're getting serious about wanting to level up your presence online. All right. And then the next thing I would say is Soundstripe. Make sure to check out Soundstripe if you're looking into new music. If you're looking to get music that you can legally use on all of your projects, Soundstripe is fantastic. Shout out to them for sponsoring the stream today. And I hope that this is going to be just, you know, all this gear will be super useful for you guys. You know, again, I didn't include everything in the world. I just included the gear that I love and use and recommend. And that was on sale. So again, you can check out the rest of my storefront to see other gear that could be a great option for you, even though it's not on sale. All right. Well, guys, till the next time, happy shopping on Prime. And beyond all the gear, beyond all the production quality, just focus on adding value to people, because that's going to be the thing that will grow your channel the best. Quality is great. Making your video easy to look at and easy to listen to, it's fantastic. But beyond that, make sure that you're just focusing on people and helping them, entertaining them, whatever it is that you're doing on your channel. Focus on your audience. All right. I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay creative. Peace.